If you were to socialize healthcare, abortions would be free. Why the fuck would you want that? Why would you
because
want...
abortion should be free.
No, it shouldn't be free.
Healthcare should be free.
No, it shouldn't be free.
100%.
You should not be killing a child out of my tax
You know why you
expenses.
think healthcare shouldn't be free? Because we have so much money just draining out of our system.
I think the only reason why I think healthcare shouldn't be free is because it is an individual thing. It is an individual. It's health. It's an individual concept. So it should not be a socialized concept. It should not be a collective concept. If I want to take care of my body, then I should be able to do that.
So if I'm born with
Now,
a sickness and
think,
you're not, I should have to pay more for just living than
but
you do.
that's not my fault.
But I was born with it.
That is the insurance
So it's my
company.
fault?
That is not my fault or the government's fault. That's the insurance company's
So cut
fault.
the insurance company out.
No, the insurance companies just need to have more capitalism. There needs to be more capitalism.
More capitalism than what's happening now?
There's not enough capitalism on
What do
insurance
you mean?
companies.
They literally had to cap insulin at $25.
Which is a terrible idea because it only makes things more expensive.
We're the only country in the world where we have to pay for insulin like that.
Yeah,
the only
because
there's people that literally have to
do
get
you know
medicine
why?
from other
because
countries.
Whoever's negotiating is a terrible negotiator. That's why.
You really think that you don't think that it's the pharmaceutical companies just trying to wring every single cent out of you?
No, I think that whoever's negotiating with the pharmaceutical companies is doing a shitty job, and that's why we're having this problem right now.
I think that's what they want.
The amount of insurance companies that we have when it comes to healthcare is extremely small amount when it comes to the middle class. And I think that is a problem.
But
if we were to have
true.
more insurance companies, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation because there would be an actual capitalist rates and we would be able to pick and choose what actual insurance company we want to pick for.
Perfect.
That's not a thing right now.
I agree. Okay,
but it has nothing to do with socializing insurance.
So if
you're pretty much saying, let's create a membership where we all pitch in for insurance. That's not what I want. I want
every
a
other
variety
country
of
in the world does
insurance,
it.
and we get to pick which insurance we want. That's how it's
and you
supposed to
can
be.
do that, and you can do that. Both things can be true. You can have free healthcare and still have like private healthcare companies. Both of them can be completely true, where you help out the most poverty people, the people that are most in poverty.
That's already a thing, though.
But
it's called Medicaid.
But it's not, because how much help are you actually getting? How many?
Dude,
times?
everything is free for Medicaid users. What are you talking about?
Nope.
Yes, it is. I worked with the ACA Act, and people that were on Medicaid get everything free, including dental, which is crazy.
And what's the level of money that you have to make to be able to qualify for that? Like nothing, right?
Terrible.
So you're cutting out the entire middle class. You're cutting out the entire middle class for capitalism.
But the middle class gets insurance from their employer.
So why not make it... Okay, perfect, fine. So why not make it a system where this is the foundation, this is the base. Nothing can get cheaper than this. This is the shittiest quality of healthcare that you can possibly get, and it's provided by the government. It's the shittiest.
We already have that.
But for everybody. Free healthcare for everybody. It's the shittiest quality. Now, you can choose whether you want the best quality healthcare. It's the most, it's the highest, like the one that you have to pay like $1 million a month to just to keep it. 100%. Like you need to pay to keep it. But it's the best quality. You have the best surgeons. You call them and they immediately answer type stuff. You have the best. You can pay for that.
You do know that. Okay. If you're a doctor, wait, hold on. I have some people here. We also have Medicaid and Medicare. Exactly. The government covers you up to you're 18 and then you're on your own. Actually, they cover you up now until you're like 26. So you're getting covered up to your 26. I have Medicaid and they didn't cover everything. Explain why, because maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a specific reason why they didn't
because
cover you.
There's deductibles, there's politics in the way, because it's...
I've literally... Oh, at least maybe it's because you don't have a family. Because when you're family, you get covered.
It's the government butting heads with the companies.
Not even my son's pediatrician accepts it. Yeah, I mean, that's a problem. Okay, but the reason why, this is a problem I have with the whole socialist concept. You are disregarding the doctor. The doctor wants to get paid an X amount of money because they busted their ass to be a doctor.
So why isn't that a problem in India? Why is that a problem anywhere else?
That has nothing to do with, I don't give a fuck about India. I care about America. India's India, we are Americans.
Yeah.
So don't compare any other country. We're talking about America. If the doctor wants to get paid X amount of money, Medicaid does not pay out because they're cheap. Government is cheap. They spend money on things they're not supposed to. When it comes to things they should, they don't pay. When it comes to private insurance will pay you whatever the fuck you want. So as a doctor, Why would you want Medicaid when you can have somebody that has private insurance?
Because there's good doctors, and then there's also scummy doctors, and this is
It doesn't matter.
This is just a small fraction of the argument.
A doctor has a right to put whatever rate they want. If you can't afford it, sucks to be
I'm
you.
not talking about the rate. I'm talking about, I'm a doctor and I see you and I can tell that there's like two or three things that are wrong with you, but like I can also say this is wrong with you and you need to take this medicine, and to take this medicine you have to pay $500. And guess what? I get commission for telling you that you need to take this specific medicine because this specific company is paying me, because that's capitalism.
That's not capitalism. That's not capitalism.
It's money.
That's not capitalism.
It's money.
That's draconian corporations. That's not capitalism.
That's
capitalism is a variety of companies that have different rates, and you get to pick and choose what rate it is. What you're talking about is not capitalism. That's called corruption.
It's the doctor,
not capitalism.
but it's the doctor choosing what if that medicine doesn't do you anything for you?
I mean,
and that happens.
Go to a different doctor.
But how do you know? You're not a doctor, and you're trusting my opinion, and I'm telling you take this medicine because it's going to help you.
Again, it's an individual thing. You have plenty of other doctors you can go to. You don't have to stick to one doctor.
But I'm paying for health insurance. So if I'm paying for health insurance, if I'm giving money to somebody to be able to, for me to see you, and you're my doctor, and you tell me, hey, go see this, there's already so much money invested that I'm going to trust whatever you say wholeheartedly.
But that's your choice to trust them. You don't have to trust them.
But that's everybody.
You have
no choice.
Insurance companies cover millions of doctors. You act like there's only one doctor you can go to. You can go to a bunch of them. You can go to 5 until you find the right doctor for you.
What I'm saying is that you don't know the difference between the scummy and the good doctors. You can't tell whether the doctor is actually going to sign you up for a medicine that you need, or actually tell you something that you actually need, rather than somebody that...
But again, that's your decision though. As an individual.
But you don't know what the doctor's intentions are. You don't know if the doctor is actually thinking of you or is actually thinking of themselves first. Because if they're and this is something that I've said many times before, if I see a doctor and the doctor is only thinking about how much money they can make out of me, I don't want you as my doctor. I don't, because you're only thinking about money.
Yeah, of course. But you're acting like all doctors are like that when they're not.
But
you're assuming that all doctors are going to be like that doctor.
That's what it's incentivizing. Because
sure, I agree with you. We need to change the healthcare education system for sure. But it doesn't change the fact that that's not going to, by you socializing healthcare, that's not going to solve the corruption in the education system of healthcare.
Yeah, 100% it will.
How is it going to solve it?
I'm not saying it's going to 100% solve it, but it'll definitely help.
How is it going to solve it? How is it going to help it? What is me paying a membership going to stop from scummy doctors being scum?
You know that medical bankruptcies is the biggest thing affecting our economy right now, right?
Yes. Okay, but you're not answering the question. If I'm paying $50 a month out of let's say it's $50 a month. Let's hypothetical here. We implement this.
Nowhere near $50.
We're paying $50 a month, the shittiest of the shittiest, and then how is that supposed to stop doctors from being shitty doctors?
Because of the corporations that are in charge of the actual medicines that they're implementing. Because if the doctor's working with the medicines and they're not working with you to get you the right medicines, and they're working with the medicine company themselves, then they're actually thinking of how much money they can make out of you. It's a product.
But why am I paying a monthly membership for Big Pharma to make money out of me?
You're doing that now.
Why are we? But I'm not. I'm very against pharmaceutical companies. I'm against the healthcare system as it is right now. But I don't even think, the reason why I don't think we should have a socialized system, and we don't have one aside from like Medicaid, Medicare, all that stuff, is because of the fact that I shouldn't have to give money to pharmaceutical companies to make them richer. Why would you want that?
But we wouldn't make them richer as if we tax.
Instead, what you should do is literally,
if anything, they'll be less rich.
The education system itself of the healthcare system. Teach doctors what actual nutrition is. Teach doctors to stop giving people meds just because that's what they're programmed to do. You don't like.
No amount of education is going to change the incentive that big money gives. I can teach you how to be the best. That's
why we need to go after Big Pharma, because they are the freaking problem. But socializing the system is not going after Big Pharma. You're making them bigger.
Yes, 100%.
You're making them bigger. You're not making them smaller. You're making them
bigger. The biggest hit that you can hit to Big Pharma is setting a foundation. Hey, nothing can be more expensive than this, nothing can be cheaper than this.